As a crafter, have you ever worried about the air quality in your craft room when you are working with epoxy or UV resin? Especially if you're someone who works with quite a lot of it, the VOCs that are released into the air can build up, and it's not just while you're working with the epoxy. Most of us will wear a respirator when we're mixing or when we're putting the epoxy on the cup or into the mold. Most of us are not wearing a respirator when we're working with UV resin. I know I don't, and I know a lot of you don't because I see you on lives and in your videos, and you're definitely not wearing a respirator. But it's something that we really all should be concerned about. The VOCs that are released into the air can trigger asthma, but it can also just be harmful for your health. As it builds up, it can cause dizziness and headaches and quite a few different respiratory issues, so it really is something that we should all be conscious and be aware of. But Resiners is going to make it easier. They have come out with an air purifier specifically for resin and UV resin, or epoxy and UV resin. Now, I bought this with my own money. This is not a paid sponsorship. This is something I purchased myself because I was worried about the air quality in my room. I have had just basic air purifiers, but after doing some research, they really don't work all that great with the VOCs. I do open my windows when I can, but let's face it, sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's raining. I'm not always opening my windows. And even though I have a bigger craft studio, I still work with a lot of epoxy and a lot of resin, so those VOCs are building up. With this, it has sensors and it'll actually tell you the air quality in your room. You can change the filter, it has timers, all kinds of different settings. This is something you guys really need to check out. It's an investment, but it would be worth it for your health and your family's health, especially if you have a smaller craft space, a smaller room. If you're someone who works with a lot of epoxy or a lot of UV resin, this is definitely something you guys want to check out. Now it's all set. So next time I use my epoxy or my UV resin, I know that this is on and it's going to help to purify the air and keep me and my family healthier. So it's been running for a few minutes, so it went through its initial phase and now it's testing the air quality. I happened to look and the light was red. So this tells me that the amount of VOCs that have been in this room that I've been sitting here breathing in were pretty high. So that's really kind of scary. So I'm gonna let this run for a while and see how it goes. I mean, they're going down, so that makes me feel better. But how long has it been that I haven't had this? Like, how long have I been breathing all of these fumes in? Like I said, I do work with a lot of epoxy and a lot of resin, and I've just been sitting here breathing all of this in. My kids come in here, they've been breathing it in. You guys really need to look at getting one of these if you are an epoxy resin or UV resin artist. Okay, so it was running for around 10 minutes or so, and it continued to go down. My lights have now turned green, so definitely making me feel better. So to be completely honest, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. I mean, guys, I have like a big craft room. I mean, it goes back, like, and my epoxy back through this hallway is a separate kitchen. This used to be a mother-in-law's suite. So there's a separate kitchen back there. Back in there is where I do epoxy at. And the VOCs were that high in this room, which, I mean, I do use UV resin in here, but like, I've been sitting here breathing this in. I am running a business. I spend a ton of my time in this room. That's really kind of scary. So, yeah, invest in one. Get one. Click the link. It will be worth it.